Before we start talking about this very talented film director, we have to define what is a maverick. We believe that a maverick director is a film director who tells stories in an unconventional way, but in a way that works perfectly for the film, by the use of the following elements, which is the script, cinematography, music, symbolism, and acting. Our chosen director is the great Paul Thomas Anderson.
When Paul Thomas Anderson was 7 years old, he is said to have written in a notebook, "My name is Paul Anderson. I want to be a writer, producer, director, special effects man. I know how to do everything, and I know everything. Please hire me." His words have proven prophetic. By the time he was 17 years old, he made a film short that a decade later became Boogie Nights. That 1997 film earned 3 Oscar nominations and catapulted him to fame. Today, he is credited with being at the forefront of a new generation of young auteur filmmakers breaking from Hollywood convention.
Paul Thomas Anderson is usually the producer, the writer, and the director of his film, thus making him an auteur and someone who demands creative control. The script will be the first cinematic field that we'll be looking at, who will show that this director is a maverick. Although most of Paul Thomas Anderson's scripts are based on original concepts, he's known for doing extensive research before writing his films, taking ideas from everywhere and combining it into one, such as taking stories from newspapers, real-life events, real people, and other art forms. This is quite rare because most filmmakers either completely adapt their stories or take original concepts. And this style of working has led to a range of different subject matters in all his films, thus making him very unpredictable.
I've abandoned my child! I've abandoned my child!
I have good things that you don't know about. I want to be something I am. Don't fucking tell me I'm not anything. Don't like me, and you don't talk to me. No!
Back to the start. Okay.
His first film, Heart 8, is a crime thriller about gambling. His second film, Boogie Nights, shows the porn industry during the 70s when it was on the high. His third film, Magnolia, shows how people's lives can intertwine and things can happen coincidentally. His fourth film, Punch Drunk Love, is a romantic comedy about a lonely man with 7 sisters. His fifth film, There'll Be Blood, is about the oil boom in America during the 19th and 20th century. And his sixth film is The Masters, and it's about cults and Scientology. He often bases some of his stories on stories that he has written previously, such as Boogie Nights was based on a short story which was a Dirk Diggler, the documentary about the Dirk Diggler, and Heart 8 was based on another short story he wrote, which is Cigarettes and Coffee. And now I'll be moving over to Sidwell, who will be talking about characters in the film.
Well, Paul Thomas Anderson is known for his unique characters, which deals with real problems such as fear, anger, their past catching up with them, and all of that. His characters are too different from those typical Hollywood heroes and heroines because his characters are real. They deal with the real human issues. They deal with something we can relate to.
You want to get inside?
When did you get this?
Yesterday. Well, actually, I had it painted yesterday, so the paint might still be kind of sticky here.
This is great, man.
Yeah.
This is really great.
You want to go for a ride, or?
Wait. Fuck, hell, how much time is that?
I'm sorry, sir.
What the hell is the matter with you?
I'm sorry.
Why did you do that, Scotty?
You look at me sometimes.
What?
I wanted...
For example, in There Will Be Blood, we meet a character called Daniel, who represents America in their thirst for power. Even though he has enough, but he keeps on wanting more and more. Another example, like in Boogie Nights, he uses a controversial theme such as porn in the 1970s, but he is able to tone the story down into a humanly level so that we can sympathize and understand the characters within.
See, I'm fine.
I want you out of here.
Look, it's over, okay? I'm done.
Listen
Now,
to
ready
me,
to shoot?
kid. I want you...
Don't you fucking call me a kid.
What?
I'll fuck up. You want to see me kick some ass? I know fucking karate. You want to fuck
Oh,
me?
Jake, get out.
Get
Get
out.
out. Come on. You are fired. You're fired, you
What is that?
goddamn...
No. You know what? I'm the biggest star here, man. That's the way it is. I want to fuck. It's my big dick. So everybody get ready fucking now.
The most occurring theme in Paul Thomas Anderson's films is the fractured relationship between the children and their parents. Most of the times the children are looking for a father figure, they hate their parents and stuff like that. He derives that quality from his real personal life. Most of his films are set in San Fernando Valley. He constantly goes back there to draw inspiration because it's where he grew up. As we recall from his past, he says every time they saw a white van outside the house, they were shooting porn. As we see this beautiful film, Boogie Nights. Now I'll hand into Mr. Miti, who will be talking about music and symbolism in Paul Thomas Anderson's films.
Paul Thomas Anderson is known for his excellent and memorable use of his music, using unique songs which will tell you about the scene even without saying anything. The Spanish song you've just heard from Boogie Nights tells about the many characters' feelings as he's entering the world of pornography. Magnolia was inspired by the songs from Army Man. He asked Army Man to write a few songs for him. It's these songs which play as narrative thread as the movie plays. Find sometimes the characters play along as the song is playing.
What you thought when you first began it, you got what you want. You can hardly stand it though, but now you know it's not going to stop.
Just like a Maverick, he does not make popcorn films that do not have any depth. His films are filled with symbolic elements that can only be seen in a second viewing, thus making him an artist. He often cites the book of Exodus from the Bible, though subtly. In Magnolia, he shows the plague of frogs which is mentioned in Exodus, which is also the raining of frogs. Thus the comparison between the character Stanley from the film to Moses from the Bible. And Stanley is seen as the prophet like Moses, and the slavery is the people suffering from the abuse from their childhood. Since the abuse on Stanley persists, the frogs fall from the sky, and Stanley was the only one who wasn't surprised by this. Now, Shiva, we're going to be talking about cinematography.
Paul Thomas Anderson is distinctively known for his camera work, from his dolly zooms to his steady cams, to his zooms and wide angles. You can distinctively tell that this is Paul Thomas Anderson's work. But the one camera shot that stood out the most was his work in Boogie Nights. This shot was celebrated in Hollywood and all over the world once it was seen. We see a shot where he establishes an exterior shot on a close-up of where they are in the location. Then he moves from exterior to interior. While this is happening, he's introducing us to 7 different characters within the film that we'll be following all over, using lighting techniques such as spotlights while we're going through Boogie Nights to introduce these characters, from Roller Skate Girl to Don Cheadle's character, and then ending with Mark Wahlberg's character as the protagonist, as the last shot. That's when he cuts. This whole shot was 3 minutes long, and it was the shot that just took everybody in awe with this guy's planning and staging. We have seen him use this long tracking technique in most of his movies, but it just stood out in Boogie Nights the most. Talking about Boogie Night, we have seen him establish a certain relationship with these actors that he can trust. This ensemble includes Julianne Moore, Philip Baker Hall, John C. Reilly, and the late, great Philip Seymour Hoffman, who was almost in each and every film that he made. As a director, Paul Thomas Anderson is known for drawing the best performances out of actors. For example, Adam Sandler in Punch Drunk Love. We saw a depth to this actor that we have never seen before. Who would have thought a comedian could bring such a performance to the floor? Lest we forget that Paul Thomas Anderson directed Daniel Day-Lewis into an Oscar-winning performance. Now, is he a filmmaker's filmmaker or an audience filmmaker? I'd like to think neither of the two, as he is his own filmmaker and doesn't like to be influenced whether by what the Academy likes or what by the crowd likes.